This is the strangest thing I've ever gone through. About 7 years ago, I worked nights as a watchman at an old warehouse complex in northern Maine. I was usually one of 4 people on shift, covering a sprawling site that stretched over a mile. Most nights, we stuck to the main entrance, a small booth by the chain link fence. No one else stayed late unless a big shipment was due, and even then, it was just a supervisor or two. The older guys on the crew liked to say the place was cursed. They'd talk about workers who died there decades back, crushed by crates or caught in machinery. I'm a spiritual person, raised to believe in good and evil beyond what we see, but I figured they were just trying to spook me. I'd been there a month, working 4 shifts a week, and nothing odd had happened. Sometimes I'd hear a faint groan from the pipes or find a chair out of place on my rounds. But I brushed it off. The complex had a rec building for staff, a leftover from when crews stayed overnight during busy seasons. It was run down with a rusty weight room, a steam room, and a squash court. The court was a concrete box with faded paint, a high ceiling, and a heavy plexiglass door. My coworker Sam and I would sneak in there sometimes to knock a ball around during quiet hours. One night, around 3 a.m., we decided to skip the game and lift weights instead. The building was dead silent. No heat was on, no fans, just the hum of the overhead lights cutting through the stillness. We'd been at it for 10 minutes when a sharp bang echoed through the room. We froze, then shrugged it off, maybe a pipe settling. A few minutes later, it happened again, louder. We radioed our supervisor, Tara, asking if she was nearby. She said, "No, I'm at the entrance." The bangs were coming from the squash court across the hall. We tried to explain it, maybe the furnace kicking on, but it was off, and it never made noises like that anyway. Then the bangs sped up, one after another, like someone was slamming something against the wall. We grabbed our flashlights and edged toward the court. My stomach twisted. I didn't want to look, but we had to. When we reached the plexiglass door, we aimed our lights inside. A rubber ball was rolling slowly across the floor, by itself. No one was in there. The bangs had to be that ball hitting the walls, like someone was playing a game. But there was no one. My chest tightened. I felt tears sting my eyes from pure fear. Sam's face went pale. We couldn't understand it. Nothing made sense. We shouted and ran, bolting back to the entrance. Tara saw us stumble in, breathless and shaken. She asked, "What happened?" We told her about the ball and the noises. Her eyes narrowed. She said, "That's why people don't stay long here. Something's wrong with this place. You're not the first to see it." She pulled up old camera logs on her tablet, clips of shadowy shapes drifting through the break room, lights flickering on and off with no one around. It gave me chills all over again. I tell this story to friends now, and it still gets me shaky. That night was my first brush with something beyond normal. Some think it was a spirit tied to the deaths here. Others say it was something darker, playing tricks. I don't know what it was, but I quit a week later.